Thanks for having me. Hi, everyone. So nice that we are here together to learn and share and connect. The question for tonight is how do we ignite this Torah passion into our students? And I think it's a big question and it holds a lot because the mere fact of Torah, as Mrs. Tukarnik was speaking, it's who we are, it's our life, it's our identity, right? It's what I carry. This is me. I walk around. I am Torah. I am Hashem's precious, precious child. He gave this to me. He sees that I need this in my life. This is the way I live my life, the way I dress, the way I walk, the way I speak, the way I parent my child, the way I talk to my husband. This is who I am. I am Tyra. Now, how can I give that over to my students, right? This very big thing. It's something that we carry. It's a responsibility. It's not just a walk in the park. It's a big responsibility that we each have. How do I give it over to each student and meet each student to where she is on her own level? And I believe that it really starts with ourselves. When I am passionate about the Torah, when I am passionate about my Tanya class, my students feel that and get that excitement for Yiddishkeit. When I am passionate about a Rashi, about how Kairach, the Lashon Hara that he said, about, just anyone in Yiddishkeit, the students, they feel that and they want it and crave for it. Now, it really starts from myself, from taking the time, looking, preparing, and saying, what is so amazing about this? Why am I giving this over? How can it speak to the students? What is it that is going to touch them? And I really think, when we walk into our classes with a smile, our students feel that. When we walk in and we are passionate about what we're teaching, our students feel that. And we ultimately make them want what we have. Now, there is a story of a Talmud Chacham was traveling with a bunch of other merchants, and they were on a ship, and they were all boasting around. Look at these like merchandise that I have, and they were all talking to each other. And then they go up to this Talmud Chacham, this scholar, and he's just like looking into his Torah scroll, doesn't look so wow. And they ask him, "New, so like, what's your merchandise? Like, what are you coming to sell on the ship?" And he's like, my merchandise is far better than yours. I can't even explain. And they're like, they're looking around. They're like, what? What do you have? Like this, like scroll? Like, what even is that? And they weren't interested in hearing any explanation. And what ended up happening is a bunch of pirates came onto the ship and took everything away from all of these merchants. And yet, when it came to the Talmud Chacham, he had nothing, there was nothing for them to take. And when they came to dry land and they were finally allowed off the ship, everyone else was like scrambling for, their mere basic needs. And this Talmud Chacham ran straight to the base medrash where a bunch of other men were learning. And he stirred up some conversations with the other men. And they right away saw that he's a really respected Talmud Chacham, knows a lot, and they quickly cared for every basic need of his, and they made sure he had a place to stay and to eat, and they gave him a very honorable position in the community. And with this story, it's a great story because it shows us that Torah is something, it's not what you carry. It's not what you're carrying around. It's not something that you just, it's a nice, pretty outfit that you have or a nice, pretty bag that you have. It's something so much more like deeper inside. And it's not something that I have to show or boast about. It's just something that's me. It's something that I identify with. It's something that I love. It's something that's so devoted to me that it's not something I want to go around and share, right? We know with our relationships with, a husband, for example, right? We're not going and sharing that to everyone because it's so personal, it's so beautiful, it's so within. And that's the same thing with Torah. It's just within us. It's ours. I don't have to go around and boast about how much I know. But when I have this relationship with Torah, and it's so special for me, that is when people see that. And that is how this Talmud Chacham, when he was in the Beis Medrash, he didn't have to share everything he knew just by him speaking and the people around him feeling his energy of what he shared. They were like, wow, this is a Talmud Chacham. This is someone who takes Torah and makes it real for himself, makes it something that he lives by.
Right.
That's
Applicable.
why they respected him and wanted him to be in their community. And I believe that each of us have this shlichus of really bringing it into our classrooms in a way that our students can feel. Now, in terms of our students, each student is coming from a different background, a different home, different set of values, different things that for her is, right, and for someone else is not right, and her normal is not your normal, and there are things you can disagree on. But yet, each student wants to be seen and wants to be seen not where you think, she should be seen, but where she is, that is where she wants to be seen. And I think when we look at our students and we see them as who they are at the place that they are without judgment, without criticism, without looking down at them, not, it's not a hierarchy. I'm over you. We're here together. And I'm here to learn with you. I'm here to teach you. I'm here to be with you and show you how passionate I am about this, that you can also feel that. And by seeing each student for where they're at, we are able to give it to them and we're able to show them this is the beauty and take it for you. And I believe that we know that the Rebbe was someone who really saw each of us for who we are. And, I give us all a bracha if only we could just see ourselves and see everyone around us and our students, like as the Rebbe saw each of us, right? That he spent hours and hours just standing on Sunday, right? It's like something that every time, it's spoken about, or I'm saying it now, and like getting emotional, hours and hours on a Sunday, just standing there looking at every single yid, no matter where they are, and looking in their eyes, and here, I'm here for you. I get you. Like, don't worry, it's gonna be okay with whatever it was, right? And just handing over that dollar, showing, I see you. It's gonna be good. And when we can look at our students and really see them as Hashem sees us and how the Rebbe sees us, they will see that. Yet the Rebbe didn't only see us for where we are now, he saw us for who we can become. And not in a way of, I'm expecting too much from you or I'm looking down at you that you're not like who I want you to be. No, no, no. It was this, I'm looking at you because I see so much potential inside of you and I want you to live up to that. I want you to be that because you have such an neshama bursting inside of you. Like use it, devour it, go for it. You can. And we know the story of Rabbi Jonathan Sachs, right? So he came to America and he was coming to meet different Jewish leaders. He met the Rebbe, of course, and Rabbi Soloveitchik. Now, to meet the Rebbe, it wasn't as easy. He had to set up a yechidus, and someone called him and said, it's going to be harder than you think to just see the Rebbe. The Rebbe's very busy. He said, I'll do whatever it takes. Call me. And he ended up going to California to spend some time. And then he said, but when I get the call, I'm running straight to New York. And lo and behold, he got the call, so excited. He made his way to New York and he sits down with the Rebbe and he has a personal yechidus with the Rebbe. He's been waiting for this. And the Rebbe starts asking him questions, well, how are you doing with the university you're in? Are you getting Jewish students? What are you doing to cater to the Jewish students? And Rabbi Jonathan Sachs was sharing and answering. And then the tables turned, which I don't know if Rabbi Jonathan Sachs is ready for that. And the the Rebbe starts asking, the tables turned, and Rabbi Jonathan Sachs is now, one second, I'm losing my train of thought. Um, excuse me, sorry. He asked the Rebbe different questions. Sorry. He asked the Rebbe different questions. Um, how can I, he had many, he's a scholar, he knows a lot, and he was asking the Rebbe different questions about this, different questions about that, and the Rebbe sat there answering each of his questions. And then the tables turned, and the Rebbe now was asking him questions about his own personal life. Now, what are you doing with the Jewish students? Like I said, what is happening in the university? How are you catering to the Jewish students around? And Rabbi Jonathan Sachs came out of that and was like, wow, you see, the Rebbe saw in me so much potential that I have to give to these Jewish students. And from this story and millions of other stories, the Rebbe sees us and sees us for what we can become. And I think it's when we're in a lesson, when we're teaching, it's girls can have questions, girls can have doubts. I remember as a high schooler having doubts, right? Each of us, Yiddishkeit is something that if we're born into it, we are so lucky. And if we choose it, we're also so lucky. But it's something that we keep thinking about, and it's something that we keep growing. It's not like the Yid I am today is the Yid I'm going to be tomorrow. I mean, I hope it's not, right? We want to be on this cycle of keep moving, keep growing in it, right? Keep inspiring our children, our friends, our students, everyone around us. Now, when we look at a child, one of our students, and we see, they have a question, they have doubts, it's taking them and taking them in, showing them that we care and I'm here for you and I want you to understand it in your own way. And it's seeing what way can they understand it and bringing it into the classroom in that way. And sometimes it's about, taking that one girl out of class and saying, I know you're having a hard time with this, or is there something that I didn't explain so well that I can explain it better, that you can resonate with it? Maybe it's having a more deeper conversation with a student. It's even, when they get back their test and they're not happy with their mark. And, as much as a test doesn't reflect everything, it reflects some part of things. And it's going over to them and asking them, was this difficult for you? Why was it difficult for you? Are you connecting to the subject? Is there anything I can do to connect with it more? Right? Really making it something that we're in this together. It's not a hierarchy here. Like, I'm here to help you and guide you and teach you that you can see how powerful what we are learning is. Um, we know that we know the term, right? Kikar vilacha hadavar ma'ai beficha ulovavcha la'asaisai. And the Torah is something that is so near and dear and close to each of us. And in order for it just not to be like dibur peh, right? We can walk into class sometimes and it's just nice talk that we're saying, and it's nice. It was a nice class, right? Or it can really be so near and dear, so kikarev, that you feel it so much in the way you're saying it in beficha, in the words that you speak it out, and then uvovavcha, and with your heart, right? What are the feelings coming up for you when you are saying these words of Torah? And then la'asaisai, right? You're willing to do it. You're willing to go out and share it and spread it and give it to the world and be so excited about everything. And when, like I said, when we're in that space and our students, it's not just dibur peh, it's they see that, wow, my teacher is saying it with such excitement. She's feeling it, right? She's using her whole, like, her body as well to like show how special this is. And then they want to go out and do it. They want to go out because you are so excited about what you're doing. And I think that, in general, being a teacher is not something easy. I remember someone saying that someone once told someone who was having a difficult time, he said to them, go and be a teacher. And because when you're going to be a teacher, you're going to have to work on yourself. You're going to have to do avodah. And I really believe that it's true because as much as, we can put on, a fake image or show ourselves in a different way, our students, they're smart. They see us and they are excited when we're excited. And when, it's not such an exciting day of teaching, they feel that and they can, you know, grasp on it. So I believe that when we are in that space of real connection with ourselves, with what we're teaching, with our students, right? With, oh, I'm not here I'm teaching any random children. No, I'm here. Each of these students, Hashem handpicked for them to be sitting in my class, that I am their teacher, and I'm here learning with them. I actually asked my students, girls, from the teachers that you have, what is it that you feel that your passion of Torah is ignited? What do the teachers do that makes you feel that? And it all boiled down to that our teachers are excited, right? They're excited to teach us. They're excited about what they are teaching. And also how when you make it real and practical. And I believe that if we look at teaching as I'm the teacher, you're the student, then we lose that connection in a sense because we're coming from I'm in a way better than you and I'm coming down to teach you, right? And who wants to be looked down at, right? In order for a person to grow, you need to look up to them. You need to give them words of encouragement and inspire them and be there for them only in a non-judgmental way. So when we look at our students and we see them for who they are, they feel that. And when they see that we believe in them and that we're not coming down to them, we're not coming at them, we're coming with them, for the best for them, they really, really feel that. And they're able to take what we are sharing with them and make it their own. And I pretty much share a lot when I teach. And I think that it's important because showing them that Yiddishkeit is something that we're all on a journey, each of us on a journey, and we each are at different places on the journey, and showing them, girls, I'm not better than you, right? I'm passionate about this, or I like this. And it's funny because when I was sharing a story with them and then I went back on it and they were able to finish off my story and share what was the point, what was the lesson that I was bringing out of that. And I was like, wow, you see, like these words are resonating with them. They are understanding, they are thinking, they're believing, they're creating, their own selves in this. And what better time is it, junior high, high school, of a girl thinking about what she's being taught and thinking, how am I going to make it my own? And that's with having a teacher who sees and believes in what she's teaching and in who she's teaching, right? Because you can have great things to say. And with Torah, you can have the best things to say because it's the best thing we have, right? But if you are not teaching it to your student, you're just teaching it to say nice things or to come home with a paycheck, which we know it's not the greatest job for money. But if you come from a place of like, oh, I'm here because I want you to have this, they will feel that and take it with them and take it home with them. Even the little bit that they get, they will really feel it with. I want to share on a different tangent how strong words can really have an effect on us. I remember being in high school, and I'm sharing this, will not say names, but I want to share that sometimes if we don't see our students for who they are or where their question is coming from, we can really hurt a child and we can really, not want them or not show them like the best way to live our life. I remember being in 11th grade and I had a teacher who was very excited about the Rebbe and about Mashiach. And we were learning, I'm not sure if we were learning a mimer of the Rebbe. And I asked her, it was after class, I went over to her desk and I said, I want to just know that what you're saying, like, I want to know, where is it from? Like, where is it in the Ha'aris of the Rebbe? Like on the bottom, like where Where is it? And I remember this teacher looking at me with such stern eyes and telling me, if you don't believe that what I say is from the Ha'aris of the Rebbe, then you have a problem. And I remember taking those words, and those words sat with me. And I was like, do I have a problem? Like, do I have a problem that I don't believe that everything this teacher is saying is real? Do I have a problem with my connection to the Rebbe? Do I have a problem with this teacher? Is there something wrong with me? Right? These words really sat with me because as a student, you look up to your teacher, you admire her, you want to be like her, you want to understand what she's saying, you want to do well, you want to please her. And I believe that we really have to remember that we are people and our students are people as well. And when we make a mistake or see a student in the wrong way, to really, this is why teaching is such an avodah, to really work on ourselves to be able to love the student for who she is and to be able to see that their question is coming from a place of that they just want to connect. And even if they're doubting, or even if they are always bugging with you and, that doesn't make sense. And that there's a reason why, right? There's a reason behind it all. And I think when we take a step back and, like I said before, look at the student and see them for who they are, being an neshama, we can really penetrate them and really make them feel that they want this and that this is for them. We are here for them. And that they will only gain from living a life of Torah, living a life of Yiddishkeit, living a life of Hashem, Rebbe, all the good stuff, because that will help them out. And we know that. And when we know that, they'll know that. As being a shlucha of the Rebbe, right? We're sent, and even if you're not, you don't have the name as being a shlucha, we're all sent, and we're all on shluchas, doing what we're doing. And even as a teacher, giving over to our students, you are being a messenger. You are being a messenger of the Rebbe. You are being a messenger of Hashem. You're doing Torah HaKadosh work. You're doing holy, holy work that is not easy, and yet we do it. And we want to empower our students. And sometimes it's, the smallest thing that we can say can empower them so much, right? It's like when a child says a bracha on a food, that saying a bracha on a food is so valuable that maybe when another girl hears it, she will say, oh, I didn't make a bracha. I will go now and make a bracha on my food. And it's those little small actions that end up creating a beautiful, beautiful picture. So I want us to remember that any little thing we bring to our class has a tremendous, tremendous effect, and not only for that student, but for the generations that will come out from her and all the people that she is surrounded with, right? Her siblings, her environment, Yidden around her, Gaim around her, anyone is able to see like, wow, look what this girl carries. Look what this girl is inspired about. Look what this girl speaks about. And that will only create a beautiful chain of, just Yiddishkeit all around us, surrounding us to really bring Mashiach. I want to just say, L'chaim, everyone. I believe that, we're doing special work. We should feel that we're doing the special work, ultimately, like, leading up to Shavuos now, receiving the Torah and feeling like we are doing one of the holiest things that we can do, really giving Yiddishkeit and Kedusha to our children, to our students. And hopefully our students can see that and see that we're there for them and that we believe in them and that we know that they are the Rebbe and Hashem's children. And when they see that, they admire us and they want to be like us and they want to have what we have. I always think about my baby. She doesn't want to play with her toys. She wants to play with what mommy plays with. She wants to play with the pots. She wants to play with the pens. She wants to play with the wires, right? All the things that she doesn't need to play with. Why? Because mommy's playing with it, and that's so exciting, right? It's not exciting, her toys. And the same thing is, I believe, when we teach, when we show our students that I am using this, I love this, they're going to want to love it. They're going to want to have it. And may we all, continue to have that passion and be excited about it and take the time to sit down and learn and make it our own. That way, when we walk into the classroom, they want to have it too. They want to have that pot and pan, have that Dvar Torah that we shared, and take it home with them. So with that, l'chaim, dear Mechan Fais, may everyone have a lot of bracha and atzlacha with everything. And may we, receive the Torah in Eretz Yisrael with Mashiach now.